if you don't understand what optimism really is, it's not going to work for you and you're going to hate it. You're going to think that optimism is being happy and seeing the good in everything, right? A lot of times, optimism is described to be exactly this, right? No matter what situation you're in, see the good in everything, right? See the positive thing in it. But this way, you're automatically going to get a misconception inside of your head that you should be positive about negative things. And if you're able to do that, that's fine. And I congratulate you because this is really hard. It's something really hard to do. But I'm going to give you a different solution, as I tend to do. My solution is, instead of seeing the good in everything, try to see opportunities in everything. It's less about how you feel about a situation and more about how you look at it, right? I'm going to give you 2 generalized things that you can say to sum up a situation, the way you look at it. And then I'm going to give you 2 detailed examples. So when life feels overwhelming, life is shit, life feels like you don't want to do it anymore, you don't want to go anymore. When it seems that life is spewing chaos upon you, instead of letting it overwhelm you by labeling it as, an overwhelm, start to say, life is a lot right now. Because it's true, right? Life is a lot. So you're not lying to yourself, you're just reframing it. And that's really powerful. Like, don't just click this away. Reframing things is like the number one thing you can do to lift your state of being about something, about yourself, and about how you act in the world. Is just if you reframe something, right? Looking at it for what it is instead of what you want it to be. But sometimes even turning it into what you want it to be instead of what it is. Now, I know it's kind of paradoxical when I say this, because before I just said, like, you shouldn't be happy about something bad, right? But if you can do that, go ahead. It's way easier and more practical to be mindful and analytic about something bad or being happy about something bad, because you need to take the first step in order to take the second step. That's the whole problem. People have bad situations. They learn that they should be happy or like appreciative of what they have and stuff. But the only thing they can think about is, I have a problem that I have to solve, right? I'm overwhelmed. How am I supposed to be happy? Well, you don't need to be happy at first. You can be analytic about it first. The other thing that I wanted to say is, instead of saying that you're overwhelmed or, oh my God, life is too much, you could either say, these are the 2 general things, either saying life is a lot right now and life is interesting. It's interesting. And you might say, well, but Jim, just by saying something in a way, it doesn't change it. It changes it. You just never tried, probably. If you say it doesn't change anything, you probably never tried looking at it this way. And it's completely your choice, right? You could be like, oh, life is miserable because you're overwhelmed, or you could just state the fact as it is. It's a lot. It's interesting. By reframing the situation, you ask yourself new questions. And this is super important. Like I said, by reframing it, you're putting yourself in a position of power without being happy, because you can be really depressed. Like, you can be really, really depressed and say, life is interesting. Life is a lot right now. Because that's what I am. I feel terrible on the inside. But I'm analytic about it. I'm like, I'm just curious. And it puts you in a place where you have so much more power, right? Instead of jumping up there, oh, I'm so happy, you just position yourself somewhere where you have more control. And that's the whole spiel. Life feels overwhelming when you feel like you don't have control over it. However, if you are pessimistic, right, you don't analyze the situation. Instead of saying, oh, life is a lot right now, life is interesting right now. If you don't do that, you can have one problem and it will feel like your life is shit. Of course, you're not gonna count blessings and be grateful for stuff, because that would be, oh, you're so optimistic, I can't be happy about these bad things. See, That's why I'm not gonna anchor at that point, because being grateful for things, being that's like, oh, I can't be happy when I feel bad. I can't be optimistic. Optimistic doesn't mean that you need to be happy. That's the whole trap. Optimistic just means you look at it, like you take a step back and you're like analyzing the situation, which is paradox because it will lead you to be more happy, because your problems are gonna dissolve themselves. I really wish, and I know for a fact that one day I will be able to communicate these ideas better, so that like I can structure it in a way where people really understand what I'm trying to say. Like number 1, number 2, number 3, titles. As of now, the only thing I have going on for me is turning on the camera and speaking, but it feels way better, and it helps me way more than overanalyzing the situation, right? Because I'm just doing it. I'm just putting out these videos. I hope that one day I can format them in a way where it's more helpful, where you need to think less about what I'm saying and understand even more, like less words, more less input, more output, or if that makes sense. I think it makes a little more. That's basically it.